Hi, good evening. Good evening. I'll be basically talk about everything. It normally happens, but I heard something on the radio today about weekend scaries. You know, when people have had a few days off work. Most of them, most people, most of the general public will have been drinking too much. Most people, not saying everybody, but most people, and they get worried about going back to work. I used to. It's caused mild anxiety. Really, it's not the sort of top end of the scale that I got when I was having panic attacks and all that sort of thing. But it starts off a little bit of a cycle. Hey Chris, how are you doing? This weekend scaries. People have been drinking too much. They know they're going to go. They know. I used to know I'd go into withdrawal. What I used to think was a hangover. I think looking back, it was probably withdrawal to some degree. And 2 or 3 days before you have to go back to work after a holiday, you tend to feel extremely edgy and a bit anxious and a little bit sort of like, well, I hope things are going to be all right. And generally they are, but you tend to feel like, well, I'm not really 100% here. I wasn't always clear in my mind and didn't used to sleep well a couple of nights before. I used to have to go back to work. I had to spell off. Hi, Simon. Evening, Stephen. Bolling outside. Just got back from a Saturday shift. Nice one. Yeah, it's very cold, isn't it? Been quite a bit of snow in the northeast, to be fair. Quite a bit, not like the old days. It wasn't 6 foot of snow. It was a couple of centimetres. Hi, Scooter. Hope you're all doing well. Hello, Stephen, fellow drunks. Well, hopefully we're not drunk now, are we? I hope not. Yeah, so this anxiety I used to get was, and a lot of people have experienced it in the past where you've had a few days off work and you maybe hit the booze a bit too much. We tend to do that with days off. I think we've got more recovery time. John, Chris, how you doing? How Steve? Good to catch up. Catch you 10 months sober. My turning point came watching videos. That's brilliant, John. Thanks so much, John. It's really good to get that sort of endorsement and that sort of comment. And I'm glad I've helped people. That's what I came on for. Hi, Simona. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Missed you last night. There's a few people asking where you were. Hope you were all right. I said, yeah, you'll be fine. Hard as nails. Born Idol, the third, like the name. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Scott Bob, congratulations. Junk, Jumping Jack, even Steve, all and all. I hope you are well. Thanks for sharing your newspaper article from a couple of years back. Really insightful. Thanks, that was actually last January. So it's a year now. Just did that. Time flies. Since I've done a couple of phone-ins with LBC, one with Russell Spur, sorry, can't remember the name now. Somebody Spur, Richard Spur, and then with a guy called Nick Abbott. Twice in a week, actually, they've been talking about alcohol and issues and, dry Januaries and whether you can have another drink or not. So I was on there for quite a while. I just rang him and told my story, trying to get the channel plug and whatnot. So it's been quite good to get the word out, really. 10 months is big. It's fantastic, yeah. Score about. It's going to be counting years, yeah. 10 months is fantastic. Well done. Drunk, really good. But I'm sober since 20th December and been at the gym every day, eating clean. Kenny starting to settle down. Brilliant, that's good news. Every day is a good day when you're sober, and build on that. It's very good if you manage to do that. I couldn't do that. I had to be taken by an ambulance to a hospital and detained, basically. Well, I could have got out. But you know what I mean. Mapex, hi, Stephen Hall. Hi, all. Nice to see you. So, yeah, these weekend scaries that people get, it's basically anxiety because you know you can't drink again for another few days, or at least 24 hours or 12 hours, depending how long your shift is. And I used to, for the first couple of days, a while to settle down, back into the normal routine of life. So in my peak of drinking, I used to think that drinking is not a pastime, it's a full-time profession. It is a full-time job. The amount of time it takes you to drink and recover and, go and buy more drink and plan and analyze things and be anxious. It's just crazy. It's a full-time profession plus overtime. I felt like drinking athlete before I went wrong. Yeah, you feel like you're in the fast lane all the time, don't you? John, you need to get sober. Start Rick. Rick's sober next. You need to get sober. Start Rick. Yeah, I think he's got his own issues. I mean, there's a lot of people, not as bad as him, not a lot worse than him, but it affects more people than you imagine. I don't think really the general public. I'm not classing us as that because we're in the middle of all this. We've seen a lot of bad things with alcohol. The average man on the street, you would say, doesn't know the dangers of it. And I didn't. I didn't realize how quickly it can creep up on you and get a grip of you. And that's when you've got real problems, when it gets a grip of you. What you sort of, you go from being a social drinker to being a heavy drinker very quickly. I think you do. This light's annoying me. So it's easy to sort of to come down with it very, very quickly. One minute you find, next minute you sort of think, well, these hangovers are bad. But they're not hangovers anymore, they're actually withdrawal. And this is what happens to people when you're off it for a while, you stay sober, you go back on it, and then you go straight withdrawal. It's really, really dangerous. It's not good at all. It is a profession, Scott, yeah. Drinking takes work. It's not just the drinking, it's the planning, isn't it? Where am I going to get the next drink from? The anxiety, the worry, the stress, getting the deliveries and getting rid of the bank statements in case your missus finds out your husband, or, if you're a woman, and all this sort of thing. Getting rid of the evidence. Or when you go to travel, you've got to have a drink before you travel. If you go to a social occasion, you're trying to avoid them, where you'll have a drink before you go to give you the courage really to go. It's crazy. You start drinking initially when you're young to, get more confidence, I suppose. And then it goes full circle, and you lose your confidence again at the end of it all. If that makes sense. My mother was alcoholic, and as a child, I used to attend family meetings. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've never sort of delved into that, but there's all sorts of problems with alcohol. It does destroy a lot of families, 100%. So when you stop, you need to find something to do and avoid. Yeah, without a doubt. A lot of people go back to boozing because they get bored. They say they get bored. I think it could be also an excuse. You definitely need something to do. You do something you used to do. Maybe like rekindle an old hobby. I found that just being well was enough for me. And I started to do a lot on research on diet. I've always been quite a good cook, because my ex-wife never cooked very much. She used to throw the meal at me, So I've always been quite a good cook. Just mixing in a few fruit and veg and a few bits of nutrition, maybe doing a bit more exercise. You can easily fill your time in if you're committed. You've got to be committed to get off the booze. Hi, Richard. How are you doing? You've got to be very committed to get off the booze. You can't just wing it. Every day you have to think about this and think, well, this is going to be another day sober. It's not something you just forget about. Otherwise, it will creep up on you. You'll have the fear of missing out. You'll have the boredom, and you go straight back on it. Thomas Brown, how are you doing? Happy New Year, everyone. So, do we all remember that song by Electronic, 1990? Getting Away With It. That was my theme tune. Getting Away With It all my life. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good song. I put that on later. Getting Away With It all my life. That was me, I have to say. Yeah, you're right there. Born idle. And my brother passed away from alcoholism. A vein ruptured internally, and he bled internally whilst asleep. Funny alcohol problems were in the family. It does in some families. I think a lot of it's learned behaviour as well, mine, but I could be corrected on that. I know that a lot of families do get tainted with it. Hi, Leslie. Hope you're well. How's everyone doing at your end? Is it cold over there? It's been very cold here. A little bit of snow, but I think it's going to be bright tomorrow, so maybe the snow will disappear. But at least the festive season's over, and that'll be a big relief for a lot of you, because I know a lot of people were a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious about whether they get pushed into a drink, whether people will, question them again. It's a mad situation where you have to justify why you're trying to be healthy. If you said to somebody, I've given up smoking, they go, oh, that's good. I've given up gambling, oh, that's really good. But drinking is why can't you have one? It's just madness. It's all different. If I just said to somebody, I've had a gambling addiction for 5 years, lost all that money, I've got no money left. I'm on the streets. Wow, I'm really sorry for you. I'm so pleased that you got yourself off the gambling. You got the roulette or whatever you were doing. You'll get you sorted out with the house and look after you. When you say you stop drinking, it's just a different ballgame, isn't it? What's happened to you? You're going to be born. We don't want to say with you. All this bollocks, isn't it, when you go drinking? Scott Bob's poison went too early. Yeah, it does kill a lot of people. If you're relying on booze, basically it will take 25 years off your life on average. Thomas Brown, acceptance is the key. The old you was dead. Yeah, you've got to move on. The new you is much better as well, much better person. James Wilson, I'm on the drink again after a week off. Felt restless and now had 6 beers and a bottle of wine. What's keeping up with the family? Forget about the family at the moment, James. You've got to get well for yourself. Being sober has to be your number one priority all the time. But if you're not sober, everything else will fall back, because you can progress very quickly if you're sober. It doesn't take long for things to start improving. It's more or less immediate when you've been a heavy drinker, when you start to even cutting down. But it's best to stay off if you've got a problem, obviously. There's no drink for me. But some people can be social drinkers if they haven't hit the rock bottom. But once you're an alcoholic, once you're dependent on it, you can never socially drink again. I'm 100% sure of that. Not even one, because it'll just trick your mind into, just have another one. That's what happens. You have another one. You get a taste for it. You get a desire for it, a craving for it, and then you'll be back onto the road to failure again. And that's not good, is it? Not good at all. I hope you benefit from these lives. I've done quite a lot through the festive period. If you'd like to support the channel, then please do the super chat links in there. Drop a donation there, or the buy me coffee links on the right there. I've had some good support over the last few weeks, and it's kept things going, kept us in the limelight a bit on the channel. It's been really good. A lot of people coming on here, a lot of new people as well, which is good to see. James, I stopped socially drinking, started drinking alone. That's a very, very dangerous point. I did a dangerous part, of this whole illness, really. I put a video out last night about drinking alone, the sadness of drinking alone, isn't it? You start thinking, why am I sitting here on my own drinking? I did it for years, just to pass the time, was my excuse. The obsession, yeah. I was obsessed with booze. Why? It did nothing for me that was good. It did when I was younger, but soon passed that time. Thomas, my old sponsor, told me you have to die to get this. He was correct. Yeah, it's probably a good point. I was virtually dead. I wish I hadn't got that far. I hope nobody else gets as bad as I was, because I was really, really ill. To the point of, nearly no return, to be fair. Less than 50-50 chance of survival. That's where I was. Really down at the bottom of the bottom. That's a good point. My old sponsors told me you have to die to get this. You're right. It's a good message, isn't it, really? Because a lot of people have to get the rock bottom before they'll come back up again. Lizzie, I did good. So how are you feeling overall, Lizzie? Feeling confident and for the new year? Because every year we get a bit older, we've got to live a bit, because we're not here long. And you're not going to live very well if you drink again, because I can't think of anything positive past the age of about 25, really. It just became a habit, something to do. It's just getting the habit of doing things, isn't it? Some people have the same petrol pump to go to. Some people sit in the same area of the coffee bar. Some people, wear the same clothes. It's just habit. I'm sure there's a lot of it. Thomas, alcoholism lives in mind, not the bottle making the sober illness. Yeah, that's what you're saying. It's in the mind all the time. John, sounds obvious, but it's a massive waste of your potential when you could be growing or learning anything to improve your life. Yeah, it pulls you back to mediocrity, doesn't it? So, unfortunately, a lot of alcoholics die before they reach the bottom. Yeah, you're right. I was close to that. I think you were as well. Yes, I meant like you. I was close to death. Yeah, not good at all. Yeah, it's not a good place to be. Can't stop, Max. Yeah, it's not easy. You can get in touch with me. There's links on the description of all the videos to do a one-to-one rendering thing. The first point that a lot of people make is like, oh, I want to stop, but I can't. You really have to commit to this. But even reaching out is the first step, isn't it? To admit you've got a problem is the first step. I mean, it's taken me years to admit I had a problem. Even when I was feeling rough and getting the pills, diazepam, the first couple of times I was relapsing, I didn't realise my problem was as bad. And that's what I meant about people in general don't realise how it affects you when they say, why don't you just have one? They don't realise you can't have one. They'll go, will one kill you? Well, not really, but it leads to that. Nobody understands the cycle of it unless you've got a problem yourself. And that's why doctors, in my opinion, don't even know what they're doing with this a lot of times, unless you've got a real good history of alcohol in the family or they've been there. Because I know how you feel and you know how I feel as well, because we're in the same boat, aren't we? Thomas, it's a quick fix with a horrific side effect. That's a good point. It's a lot of pain for short-term gain, isn't it? James, I can't stop, just can't find a good enough reason. That's another good, it's another good point now. you need to find a good enough reason. You have to find a strong reason to stop. Stoic, Clearing Stoic, how are you doing? James Wilson, the addiction will make you believe you're choosing to drink. It will make you feel good. It will isolate you. Then it will take everything you care about before it takes you. Yeah, it's very true. It's very much isolation, isn't it? Most people who die of alcoholism die alone. They've lost everything. John's English culture, most of the rest of the world doesn't have to drink like this. Newcastle is the worst of it. Oh, it's terrible, Newcastle. It's a big culture here. Big class. There's Merseyside as well, mind. But Newcastle particularly, I agree. It's always been, getting the brown ale, how much can you drink? Get down here sort of thing. But the British culture, Brits abroad, it's classic, isn't it? Brits from all over the UK will go to the favourite resorts, usually Spain, Portugal, somewhere. All they do is sit in the bar. A lot of people do go these all-inclusives and never leave the hotel. Why they go overseas, I've got no idea. They might as well just go and get a sun lamp and stick in an umbrella with Wetherspoons. Thomas, I hate to drink. I hate to drink for 30 years, and now I'm nearly 23 years. God, that's fantastic. 23 years is amazing. Absolutely incredible. It's a lifetime, isn't it, really? It's a fantastic amount of time. Sometimes it's a long road, but worth it, yeah. It's hard to change the way you are and the way you act and the way you, not the way you act, but, your habits. But they've got to change to save your life. Because nothing changes unless you change something to benefit yourself, benefit your family, and become a better person. Because you will become a better person, and you look and feel better, and your life will change for the better. You do become calmer, more relaxed, less stressful. Life becomes very much less stressful when you're not running around chasing your tail and all that sort of thing. That's part of the stress of it all, isn't it? Being late. Max, love you too, Max. Simon, when asked for by friends or work colleagues, do I want a pint or two? My immediate thought was no. I want to shed loads to get that feeling. When you hit the level, anything feel less than unacceptable. Yeah, we can't do it now, Simon. You're so chasing the days of when you were a young teenager, really. And then it became a habit, like I said. But don't let the Stoics say, don't let the addiction fool you. If you want to get healthy, you can. It's difficult, but you can do it. And you'll feel in a year or two like a different person. Even in a week or two, you'll feel better, slightly better. Anyway. So one good reason to drink, a good reason not to drink. Life, happiness, peace of mind, health, career, wealth, family, true friends, pride, self-love. Sorry, that's more than that. More. But it's good though. Yeah. Health being the most important. Because you're healthy, you've got nothing. As I found when I was in hospital, I thought, what's happened to me? I was 57 6 years ago, and I thought, I'm going to die. I'm not ready to die. Richard Bruce, can you consider alcohol a personality disorder? No, my personality's all right. As I said, it just became a habit. And then I was addicted to it, really, I think. British behaving badly abroad probably is in our genes from being a conquering nation. Could be, yeah, you never know, do you? Dean, 5 years clean, got out alive, guys. Lucky. Is 100. Yeah, well done, Dean. If you can get out of this and you fight through it, then you're a very, very strong person, mentally and physically, to beat it. Because it's not that easy, like I said. It's not really easy to conquer, like the rest of the world was. So focus on being sober every day. Don't think of it as, oh, I can't have a drink for the rest of my life, because you can't. But don't think of it like that. If that makes sense, just break it down into small segments. But I'm doing this for health reasons. Now, I think either have kidney problems or pancreatic. A lot of people forget about the pancreas, so that can just suddenly blow up. A lot of people forget about the blood pressure side of things as well. And it always dominates by the liver, isn't it? But the liver's not the only problem. There's lots of other problems. And also, it's linked to 7 types of cancer as well, isn't it? Thomas, it boils down to how bad do you want it. I totally agree, Thomas. If you really want it, you'll stay sober. The getting sober isn't the problem. It's the staying sober that's the problem for most. That's why people relapse, and that's why relapse is the killer. 100% in my view. Well, that was a good push. I needed, yeah. Well, at least you're off it. That's the main thing. I think to keep, keep fit and healthy. Paul, Steve, I seen you exactly 1 year ago. I stopped drinking for 6 months and went to Thailand. Had one, and that was it. I'm in absolute despair again, terrified. Okay, Paul. Text me on this number. There's also links in the videos and the description as well. It's obviously +44 if you're outside the UK, you know that. Just one, it's all you needed, you see. Just one that takes you straight back. Neil, how you doing, Neil? Let's see you. David Young, what did you get for Christmas? Me? Oh, God, lots of things. Clothes, some aftershave, loads of chocolates, that sort of thing. Yourself, what did you get, Dave? I got a sobriety day. Sobriety time, which is good. A beautiful meal of my partner. Thomas Brown, if you try half horse, you'll get half horse results. Same as anything, isn't it, Thomas? Yeah. Consistency is the key to success in anything you do. It may take a while, but you'll get there. Glad you're okay, Neil, and you survived Christmas and New Year. Did anybody else relapse? I think a few people have, but maybe you don't want to say it on here. But if you relapse, it's not the end of the world. You just have to get back on the sober wagon again. I'm saying you just have to. You have to. You just have to. If you want to survive. If you want to live to see next Christmas. Because, realistically, even if you live a good long life, you only got 75 to 80 years of sunrise, haven't you? How many you got left? How many years you got left? Not a lot. Not a lot, really. We're not here a long time. I mean, my mother's 94. When you get to your 80s, 90s, you start to get frail and stuff anyway. So you've got to use this opportunity to not just put life on your years, put some years on your life. You don't want to live to the 90 and be infirm. You want to be fit and healthy. And that's what I said the other night. 70% of care home residents are there because of lack of mobility or poor mobility. So you've got to keep strong and fit now. This is a time to do something, eat properly, to sleep properly, to exercise properly, to be hydrated, to be more positive about life. Maybe secure your future financially if you can a little bit. Maybe it's too late for some people, I don't know, but your health is your wealth, also your strength as well. You don't want to get to 72 and find that you're in a bloody care home because you haven't gone walk properly. So you've got to keep moving, keep moving, keep grooving, as it were. James, how has this helped your social life? I feel that I'm not able to have a social life without my personality is boring. I feel even more boring without alcohol, though my marriage is strong. Social life's all right. I don't go out pubs much. I've got a very strong relationship with my fiance. We travel quite a lot and that sort of thing. I do a bit of this. I go to the gym, get myself generally fit, make some nice food. I'm on here quite a lot. Social life's different, but much better than it was. I sometimes go into the pub, the old Wetherspoons, rarely now. I see the same people in the same seats looking haggard. The ones that are my age now look 83. And some of them are disabled, all sorts of things have happened in the last 5-6 years since I left that environment. And I find the conversation inane, boring. It's a bit of a waste of time going in, to be fair. So I don't go in, really. So you have a different type of social life? Thomas, don't beat yourself up. The past is where it belongs. Exactly, yeah. Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Scott, you just used to having booze to be social. Yeah, you can do other things. You don't need to go to the pub. You can do lots of things without being an old soul in the corner, as it were. I don't think that does anybody any good, does it? It's not good for you. It will never change anything. It will just take you down. Richard, we have snow in Brussels tonight. Had quite a bit of snow here in Newcastle area, actually. I didn't see it when I went to bed last night. My partner texted me this morning to have a look outside. It was quite a lot. So, James, you're a good man with a good wife. She deserves the real you, and you deserve the real you. Stop letting your addiction make your decisions. Take back control. Yeah, I totally agree. It does control you, even though people say I'm a functioning alcoholic. You may be functioning to some degree, but you're still being controlled by alcohol. Alcohol is the driver. Alcohol is what shapes your personality, your work ethic, your day-to-day living, really. Quentin, how you doing? Quentin, Christian Drive. We're all brave with a drink. Yes, a good point, isn't it? Everyone wants to fight when they have a drink. I mean, I knew that more than anybody when I was in the police, fighting with people who were drunk. Stoic, I don't know. Didn't know Burton was in Brussels. Burton. Okay, I don't know. Thomas Brown, you eventually see who your real friends are. You do. Most of them will just like you hate you or try and get you arrested, I think. But that's a long story. James, Chairman, I do really want to try. You can push it. You really can. You've got to focus on it, though. You must focus. If you want to support the channel, then please do hit the super chats button, or there's a buy me coffee link on the right here. The more support we get, the more we can do. Did quite a lot of lives over Christmas and New Year. I think we did them every night, really, didn't we? Apart from Christmas Day, I didn't do them when I was with my partner. But other than that, I've done about an hour or so. Done quite a lot of videos. I did a couple of radio things when I just rang in at the chat. I'm trying to put them on the channel somewhere so you can have a listen. But I think other than that, I think most people have been pretty good or pretty lucky, not relapsed, and maybe it's been somewhere to come on just for an hour to check in. I think you need that sometimes to have a few people to talk to. And failure be good. I'm not sure about that one. Not total failure, but there's nothing going to happen catastrophic. Well, there's no catastrophe going to happen if you just have a couple of beers and then get back off it again. But often people who relapse, like myself, who did it in 2014, for 5 years I was back on it, took me, and I had to be hospitalised to get off it, but not through choice. It was night. It was just on death. I was on death's door, really. So, the key is trying not to relapse. Don't pick up the first drink. The first one will take you straight back, but worse. Dean, the push is hard. Day in, day out. Yep, that's it. Life is so much better. Feels like a weird vibe that would be after 30 years of being fucked. Yeah, I know what you mean. Friends and family got me through it in so many ways. That's good. Have you lost? No, I did in 2014. I was off from 2006, 2014. Met somebody, had a new relationship. Didn't want to admit it was an alcoholic. Relapsed 2014. Couldn't get off it again with medication. They wouldn't give me any. And I just self-medicated from 2014 to 2019 when I was really, really ill. So don't try to do 90% will not be enough. 100% effort, yeah, you've got to do it all. You've got to be all in with this. Commitment and aggression is required to kick your addiction's head in. Hate is get angry at it and turn your regrets to fuel your determination to win. Yeah, you can't dwell on regrets. Just learn from them, move on, and get strong. That's the key. You've got to be strong to fight this. I said everybody who's done this is a dangerous person. I mean, pretty damn tough to fight an addiction like this. It's not easy. You have to be extremely, extremely strong-willed, especially these days when there's recessions, there's monetary problems, there's all sorts of issues in the world. Drink is pushed at you from every angle. You go to the filling station, which I went to earlier, 24 hours booze in there, BP stations, wherever they are. It's everywhere. It's so much easier to get than any other drug, isn't it? Drinkers an alcoholic's a drug addict. Simple as that. I don't like this when they dumb it down and, it's drugs and alcohol. It's not. It's all drugs. Alcohol's just in a different form. It's just bottled poison, isn't it? And people fight to get to the bar, to give the barman, to give the brewers, to give the pub landlords money to be poisoned and put themselves in an early grave. That's what it comes down to, really. Because I know it's over glamorized by superstars and the world we live in, and F1 and all this sort of current, but really it's just poison. It's not what form it's advertised, what form it comes in. Quite now, relapsed many times. I think it's a process. Eventually, you come to the point where you want to stop, though, and you can't drink anymore because it really is going to kill you. Dean, I think it's different for us all. I tried rehab as a lot for years. For me, it was a process. Yeah, I didn't do rehab. I didn't have enough money to go to rehab. Well, we were both sent that. Sorry about this spelling. Not really. That's fine. Richard, if you think alcohol is not a drug, you've never had to suffer its effects. Drugs are and will be bad, definitely. So I was a serial relapser. I too believed it was part of the process. If not, there was never a reason to relapse. Only excuses, yeah. The reason I relapsed, I think it was about 3 or 4 times. 4 times in the end was because I thought I could beat it. I wanted to be part of the gang again, part of the what I thought was a social scene, really. And it never worked. Never worked. An alcoholic can never be a social drink. I keep banging on about that. Jen, what's your perception of sober starts YouTube? I feel it's perhaps struggling more and most. To be honest, I don't really watch other people's stuff. I don't try and compare. I don't compare, Everyone hello from a chilly, rainy BC coast. Yeah, it's not exactly warm here. Dean story. So, it's something to keep an eye on. Make sure that you have this in your mind every day that you're going to remain sober, because as soon as you hit the bottle again, in whatever form, then you're going to have issues. It's never going to be good, is it? Dear John, can you remember your first ever alcoholic drink? I was 14. It was half a bottle of Bud. I remember the first drink I had with my father. Hiya, Kathy. Thanks so much for that fantastic super chat there. Massive support, Kathy. Kathy, thank you very much for another live stream. Thanks, Kathy. We'll keep doing it if we get support, obviously, and hope you're well. And you've been an amazing supporter of the channel over the last few months since we've started this, and hope you're well. David Young, can you remember your first ever alcohol drink? I think it was the first drink I had outside, as it were. I said, and I was in a holiday place. My dad was 14, had Guinness. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thanks again, Kathy. So yeah, it was a couple of Guinnesses, and I felt this sort of warm feeling, you know, when you first have a drink, and you think, wow, it's really nice. And then I thought, wow, I feel quite confident now. Because when you're young, and I don't think there's many teenagers can float around being super confident. There was a few guys at school who would be a little bit older than they were, and were a bit of jack the lads, but they'd actually be old now. And it was my sort of confidence booster, my thing. I thought, well, I found something. That's good, Kathy. I'm glad you're doing well. I think a lot of us have done quite well over the festive season, as it were, where people are a little bit pressurised to drink, or can be. Because we're having a bit of a boring day now. Boredom is far better than illness. Much, much better. It's better to be healthy and bored than to be lying in the hospital bed on a drip, an ICU or something, you know. It's not good. So, man, stopping drinking is probably the easiest part. The hard work starts from fighting urges, conquering boredom, and facing problems without a drink. Sobriety doesn't come at the first attempt. That's very true. It's the staying sober, isn't it? That's the problem. I mean, getting sober is hard enough, but to actually go a long, long spell without giving into it, I must admit, I can't give into it because I've been told too many times by too many medics that if I drink, I'll be dead. And too many people. And plus, if I don't want to die early, I know that now. I'm not fighting it anymore. I've fought alcohol for years, and alcohol's won. Simple as that. Well, the addiction's won, and I just can't be bothered to fight anymore. These ways for me to live now. The best way for me to live is alcohol free. That's it. Teetotaler. That's it. You know, just cannot have alcohol. And when you get that in your head, it's an easy job, you know. So, Mara, hi there, matey. Very nice. Growing up in Alberta, the drinking age was 18, but most of us were drinking at house parties throughout the high school age 14 to 17, then college checks, too much freedom. Yeah, same for me and people I used to know, and, you know, we all did it. There was very few people. Actually, even looking back when I was in the Met Police, very few people didn't drink. I can't think of any who didn't drink at all. And there were a few people who used to go on shandy boys, and I wish I'd been one. Would have one or two, but there were groups of us who would have long sessions. Not because it had anything to do with the job or anything like that. It was sort of expected of us to go out and have a good time. That's what it was. It was a good time. Let's meet for a night. You know, let's go for a drink. Let's do this. Let's do that. And let's get, you know, try and have a drink at every station on the central line, underground. I don't know what that was all about. Like drinking games and stuff. It happens in all sorts of jobs. Military, you know, the law, NHS, everything. Hotels, pubs, any hospitality, it's all drinking, isn't it? Kathy, yes, man, I'm feeling bored was the hardest thing for me. Yeah, that's why I've got to keep pushing the fact, you know, if anybody's starting out on this journey, to get something to fill your time in. Dean, well said, boring is much better than illness. Of course it is. At least you can, you know, be bored and well. Stoic, score, everything mates has got 3, 4 moderators on, which is good. Well, thanks for the last year of the moderators. I can't remember when we started the lives. It's been about September, isn't it? It hasn't been going that long. It seems to have gone on quite a long time, but it's been pretty successful. Like a few more people to join. But I think a lot of people watch and don't comment because it might feel a little bit maybe too shy or whatever it is, you know. But it's quite an open space here, quite a safe space to have a chat and to, you know, offload a bit of stress you've got as well. Isn't it? Blackstone, good evening. How are you doing, Blackstone? Nice to see you. Still haven't had any news from Bertie Bassett, but Cars pops up now and again. Beef and chicken's disappeared, but you know, a few of the old hands are still here, which is brilliant. Well, most of them actually, which is great. But yeah, going back to relapsing, why does it happen? How to recover fast? Somebody's just asked a question there. It's very difficult to recover fast from a relapse when you've been doing it a few times because you go into this not going to hangover, you go straight to withdrawal. So it's harder. Every time you realise it's harder to get back sober again, if that makes sense. Quentin, Chris, did you get my question? Maybe I missed it. Sorry, we just stick it again, Quentin. Stick it again. Stoic addiction always tries to convince us we are boring, or that we're bored. Truth is, boredom is a luxury. I'd love to be bored. It means I've got no chores and can put my feet up. That's a good point there, yeah. Use boredom as a bit of a peacetime, because sometimes you don't get a lot of peace, do you? We're running doing jobs, businesses, families, all that sort of thing, Got to look after yourself. And it's very true. Very true that. Yeah, just be bored. Listen to some music. It says much better than being pushed around a hospital ward by a porter. Doesn't give two fucks. So when people get bored, they say, I'm bored. Find something to do then. Or, it's a matter for people, isn't it? You can't convince anybody to stop drinking. They have to do it for themselves. And if you want to stop, you can. And you keep off it, There's a lot of questions coming. Anxiety, alcohol, and the vicious cycle. What's it all about? Well, basically, the anxiety causes you to drink more, isn't it? The more you drink, the more anxiety you get. And there was something on the news the other day about, it was a radio program about how people got panic attacks. And I used to get them. It's very strange places, motorways, large shops, crossing the road. It wasn't all the time, it was just certain things would trigger. Going over a bridge. I couldn't go over a bridge. Even in a car, I was nervous. And sometimes when I was married, I used to have to get in the back of the car to stop myself reaching for the door, trying to get out. At speed even. I never did it. It was on the back of my mind. It's very odd, isn't it? Quentin, why do you think people drink, society or that? I think it's part of social. Part of growing up in the UK, isn't it? So it could be part of the social. In fact, there's not much to do in the UK really, other than drink, in some places. And it could be part of that as well. But I think it's expected of most people to leave school and have a drink, isn't it? Oh, they'll be 18, have a drink legally. Most people have been in the process of 14, haven't they, now and again? So it probably is a lot of society, definitely, and peer pressure as well. Some guy, hey, but how are we doing tonight? All good? Some guy, all good, thanks very much. So, Quentin, in my humble opinion, I believe as addicts, we all walk the same path. We all have the same fight and all need the same victory. We can stem from completely different places. Yeah, you're right. It's a similar pattern, I think, isn't it? Because you're having a panic attack while driving on the freeway is so frightened, isn't it? Why do we get these? Driving, I could always drive on a, say, country road, a windy road, a slow road, but I didn't like the feeling of being stuck. I felt so trapped on the motorway. Very dodgy, sweating, just feeling awful. Same as going in large shops. A big Asda or a big Tesco or something, a big hypermarket, you call it. Can I get to the door? What was I going to go about the door for? I even get a little bit of that now sometimes, to be fair, the shops. Tiny bit. 7, it's important to fill your time so you get lots of things or tasks to do. And then when you go to sleep at night, you crash hard on it because you are generally exhausted. That's a very good point. Be busy. Tires you out. You won't need a drink to relax. When you don't need the drink to relax, you've really won a watch, in my opinion. Quentin, the TV soaps always have a pub in them. They do, mind, yeah, you're right. It's part of, like you say, society, isn't it? Something I found interesting in growing up, most of my friends don't drink. So I'm not sure how I even got into it. Really, it was the opposite for me. Most of my friends did drink. Some drank even worse than me, or worse, more. And some are now dead. So my society must have been doing yours on my group of people. Because most of the people I knew drank heavily. Dean and I used to know when a relapse was coming up. But as the time has gone on, I broke my left leg. Then 2 years later, my right leg. And about 3 years later, my hip. Wow, my final addiction were opiates and dependencies. Jesus, that's a hell of a lot of breaks, Dean. Hope you're getting better. Richard, I think addiction is a personality question. Could be, yeah. Adam, how you know? Adam, nice to see you. I remember working at a hotel but spending all of my tips on guests on booze. Best or worst, 5 years, hardly ever sober. Yeah, anything in that sort of trade. There's a lot of issues. Blackstone, it's definitely a culturally learned acceptable behaviour. If a society existed which it was the thing to smoke weed in buildings to socialise, everyone would be doing that. That's true. follow like sheep, don't we? It's a very big herd mentality, alcohol, isn't it? We all do it. Well, most of us do it. One of the YouTube sobriety channels covers the topic of, and I don't know what that is, the inability to derive the same pleasure from formerly fun activities. Hiking, swimming, movies, coffees with friends, it seems. Right, I understand that, yeah. The good news is that it's temporary. That's good news. So, man, the alcohol was a pick up. Was a pick me up. It got you motivated, no alcohol, no motivation, and boredom sets in, leaving us deflated and miserable. Yeah, it was for me. I used to have the first drink and feel a little bit better, but as time went on, it got worse. I felt just bad I felt rough all the time. I felt ill all the time, you know. Hope you benefit from these one-to-ones, live sessions. And if you do, please drop us a chain or copy links on the right-hand side there. It's good to get support. It keeps the channel going, keeps us doing these, and keeps us at the front of what's going on. I think with this alcohol thing, nobody else is doing these, as far as I'm aware. Stoic, some guy from my experience in recovery, people drink from family upbringings, social circles, and experience that made you feel amazing out of them, drama, pain, emotions. Yeah, definitely family related. Although it wasn't in my case, mate. My parents had a little bit of drink, but not madness. But I used to have a wash house place attached to the house where there's lots of homebrew beer, but they didn't drink it all one night. And I sort of stopped. I did a little bit of that, experimented with it. Really, it was quite strong, this lager, and I think that gave me a bit of a tolerance. So as a young guy, I was able to drink more than my friends. I thought it was a bit of a badge of honor, really, which is looking back, it's pretty stupid, isn't it? And I would be pretty sober at the end of the night and wanting more, and they would be lagging behind. I would be able to walk, being sick, and all sorts. I never liked that. So my tolerance was very high, and even as a young man in the police, I could drink a lot more, or seem to be able to drink a lot more than the older, seasoned drinkers, as it were, which is a bit odd. So stoic for me, it was definitely for emotional reasons. I had a lot of trauma I didn't process. I'm still drinking every day and having relationship issues and other stuff. Not an excuse. Yeah, we've all got reasons, haven't we? We've got reasons. Mine was that I was still chasing the feeling I used to get when I was younger. So that was, I put it down to that. I had domestic issues as well. But that shouldn't have stopped me drinking. Well, shouldn't have made me carry on, should it? You know, we don't know what's going on in our lives, really. It's one of those things where I kind of put my finger on it, really. Why did I stop? Because I quite enjoyed it. That's the reason, I suppose. Emotional reasons, had a lot of trauma. Stoic for me was definitely no, for emotional reasons, I had a lot of trauma. I didn't process them. I'm drinking every day and having relationship issues and other stuff. Not an excuse, but yeah. Urban, this winter seems worse than last. The pink cloud of miracles has disappeared. Life is still life, and it's time to deal with it as an adult. Yeah, you move out, you grow up from it, you know. Grow out of it. Grow out of alcoholism. Grow out of being daft. That's what I was called. I was daft as a brush, me. And I'm pleased to say I've kept booze under control over the holiday period. That's brilliant. Well done, Adam. Dean, all good, man. All good, man. It's what really got me here today. Process. I missed the fun though. Even breaking my legs, which is part of it. Story. Processing. It's all good. Definitely great channel. Thanks, Dean. Hatchet Keeper. Actually, I left a comment on one of your videos in November saying I had words doing Christmas coming up. I'm convinced I was going to be drinks, partly due to your content. I managed to sober one. Thank you. That's great, Hatchet. Fantastic. You didn't drink over Christmas. It's really good. Good news there. When I am out and feel panic attack coming on, I try to distract myself. Last week I was at a huge market with loads of people and I saw a man with a little puppy for sale. I held up my arms. He hadn't held at me. Panic gone. It's amazing that, isn't it? So you distract yourself from the panic. I sometimes used to do it with the phone, pretend I was on the phone, just ring 150 or something, just to do something. It's really weird that a distraction does help, though, Leslie, definitely. I don't have them now, which is good, but I did initially. So some guy sorry to hear that, mate. I have also been through a lot. Drinking won't rid the trauma, only delay the inevitable. In the process, take more good from your life. Stop drinking. Face as you go. Yeah. Face it, that's the only thing you can do, isn't it? Urban sometimes it sucks being a responsible grown up. Nobody told us it would be like this when we were kids. Nobody starts out to be an alcoholic. Nobody starts out to kill themselves. That's what it is now. It's what it is. It's always been, really, isn't it? It's slow suicide, isn't it? It really is. Hi, Leslie. How are you doing? Wind chill is 16 degrees in Connecticut today. But enjoying my sobriety indoors with some music and a good book. So about 7 years on the 20th, but it took me 30 years to get it right. Brilliant. That's good news. Thanks, Leslie, for your support this last few months. Been brilliant, and all through the time the channel's been running, actually. Yeah, keep warm, keep healthy. That's the message. Keep healthy for this year. Make this your best year, everybody. Why couldn't it be? Another year sober, get more healthy, maybe bolt on a few extra things, get some better food, buy the best food you can afford, because food helps you just generally in your life. It helps with health, overall health and vitality and all sorts, doesn't it? And plenty of water, plenty of rest. I keep saying about water. I never drink enough water. Lee Robert, your videos have helped me immensely. Thanks, Lee. Thank you so very much. Was able to avoid all alcohol over Christmas. It's tougher than people think. The real relief Christmas is over. It's fantastic. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. It's nice to get it all over and get on with life. And every day is a good day. When you focus on getting healthy again, focus on being sober, focus on life itself. Because it's all masked with alcohol, isn't it? You don't see life properly. You're not living your life. You're barely existing when you're an alcoholic. Not everyone's an alcoholic here. I mean, there's just some people who are concerned about drinking, but we're at the sort of where I was, the level of alcohol I was drinking was dangerous, beyond dangerous. It was life-threatening. So have you thought about starting a podcast too? In addition to this, you could have an LBC type setup and invite people with certain experience to have conversations. Podcasts are massive. I did mention I haven't got the technical ability to set it up, but I know my daughter's going to do that in the new year. Look into that in the new year. She suggested, but thanks, Blackstone. Everybody knows how to do that easily. I'd be interested in doing that, definitely. Adam, find it more stressful resisting gambling than drinking, to be honest. Well, gambling will obviously do your finances, but it won't kill you. It's hard to deal with two of them. I think addictions follow a similar pattern. With gambling, it's just the same as alcohol and smoking. You get used to it, becomes a habit, and then you get embroiled in it, and you can take over. It just takes over your life. Very quickly, the gambling can be bankrupt. That's the thing, isn't it? 7, the high you get once you've detox is amazing. That's when you need to channel all the enthusiasm into positive actions. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say in a roundabout way, but you put it better than I did. Channel all the energy and enthusiasm into something good that's going to be positive and help you, because it takes a while to recover. So sometimes I get panic attacks when I was out shopping, or you got panic attacks when you were shopping. Distraction techniques like counting objects in a shop window, counting the paving stones until the panic subsides. Yeah, I did that as well a little bit. It's horrible, these panic attacks, weren't they? So I'm sure I don't get it when people say that, glad Christmas is over. Sounds like they're white knuckling their way through recovery. To be in the local country, total control means you will enjoy Christmas. Well, that's true, yeah. When you get past the sort of white knuckle part, you can actually enjoy it properly, can't you? Blackstone, you have the charisma and conversational ability to thrive in that environment as you do here. Okay, thanks, Blackstone. It'd be nice to do that podcast. Maybe look into it in the next few weeks. I'm going to celebrate for a little while in February, but after I come back, I'll definitely look into that podcast. Maybe good. Well, it will be. I've heard a few people mention it. So, as well, you're Blackstone, you're an intelligent person, and I think it obviously works. I've seen other people do it. Often, when thinking of popping into the pub, I say to myself, under the breath, not today, saying, hoping no one in the vicinity can hear. Well, even if they do, who gives a toss, really? As long as you're sober and healthy. Because you won't be healthy if you're drinking. No chance. Josh, Adam, perhaps it's because gambling is your drug of choice. It could be, but I know a lot of people run a total mess very quickly with gambling, and especially with bowling and alcohol to that. And your inhibitions are skewed a bit. Kivo, even though I prioritize good sleep routine, I find it to have quality sleep. I'm a bit like that, man. I've never been a very good sleeper, but I do try and relax a bit more. I haven't got this constant stress of where I'm going to get the next drink from. Do I need to hide anything? Do I need to be upfront with anything? I feel well now. I feel really good and energetic. Too much that I can't sleep, if that makes sense. But as honest, I think it was Simon who mentioned, do something physical, keep busy, then you will fall asleep naturally because you're tired, exhausted. In this words, Kathy, yes, XO, I've had that in grocery stores. I would read readers list on the backs packages until the feeling subsided. Yeah, and may have done through all of these things, these panics. Bizarre, aren't they? And how they will subside if you do something. You take your mind off it, don't you? It's a distraction, distracts you from what's actually going on. I don't know what causes it, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if there's any um, medical reason, any solution to it, but it certainly does. It's very debilitating, isn't it? This panic thing. I don't get them now at all. Even when I was younger, I still found it difficult to fly and things. Worry too much. I think a lot of us are overthinkers. We analyze things too much. Analyze every movement, every a lot of alcoholics are hypochondriacs. But in the end, you can't go to the doctor because you're frightened, or you can't even get there because you're too weak. Overthink things, overanalyze things, and it's a very complex illness, isn't it? And a lot of people say don't say it's an illness, but it is an illness as far as I'm concerned. So, Mara, maybe consider seeing your doctor and electing to take anti-abuse. It takes away the decision to pick up the first drink. It makes that decision for you because you're horrendously ill. I've heard of that anti-abuse, but I don't know anybody taken. I actually had a mate who took it. I'm not sure it did him any good, but it's something you've got to try, haven't you? For better sleep, do daily exercise and avoid eating within 3 to 5 hours of bedtime. Yeah, that's another point I made the other night. People come home from work. I'm talking about tonight, normal days. Have a few drinks in the house. Maybe they get back home or in the pub and get back home. Then your body works overtime overnight to process all the toxins, so you're not getting any rest, are you? Not proper rest. There's no point in having a kebab. So 5-6 pints of beer, between 8 and 10 having a kebab and going to bed at 11 because your body's just working all the time. That's when you don't go to the doctor because you don't want to hear the bad news. Yeah, that's a very good point. Lizzie, it's the feeling of being trapped and worrying about what others think. Yeah. I think when you get out of that rut and you get your confidence back and you get sober again, you don't worry too much about what people think. You get on with your own life and you think, well, this is me now. And you become what you've always wanted to be, what you should have been if you hadn't drank so much. But somebody mentioned earlier, we can't turn the clocks back, wind them up again. So, every day has to be a focus now, be sober. Because a lot of good things will come when you're sober. You become more positive and your energy level's different. Leslie, I was on abuse for a year after I got sober. It helped because I was so fearful of the results. If I drank, that's interesting, Leslie. So maybe follow that lead if you're in that sort of mix of it all to try this anti-abuse. It's going to keep you off it. Dean, I'm emotionally weird. I own it now, but when I woke up to it, I really didn't know what was going on. My whole feeling changed. Yeah, a lot of us, we're all a bit weird sometimes, but one of the things that used to hit me most was this thought of impending doom. Everything was going to be a problem, and it wasn't. The over worrying that, am I the only one that's got this? Why have I got this? It just went on, and the thoughts I had were very strange. I can't recount them all. Just had a panic attack from age 24 to 34, and I drank through it all. And the insane thing is the drinking was causing most of my anxiety. I refused medication, but I didn't trust. I wanted the medication, me. I trusted alcohol. It's crazy. And I felt going to be people's pleasers to a fault. The worry of what others think is tied to that circular cause and effect. Very true. So when I drank on abuse, they don't tell you it stays in the system for up to 10 days. I drank that day after stopping. I thought I was going to die. Jesus Christ, must be strong, yeah. Hi, Gypsy. How are we doing? Dean, 100%. It is true, isn't it? Whatever people put on you, most of it's very, very bang on, because we've been through the same system, the same process. Stoic like guilt addiction uses shame as a weapon. As soon as we feel proud of what we have overcome, as soon as we know we have as much right as anyone else to be happy, we will be. Yeah, good point. Someone to Stoic been on here a while and come with some really good gems of information, so follow them as well. If you're new to the channel, and look at the videos, there's a lot of good comments in there as well. Gypsy, I have realised how serious the aspect of social location and loneliness feeds addiction is a key issue I've recently realised. This is another big problem. Addiction comes from lack of intimacy, lack of connection. And that's why in my view, only my view, mate, a lot of people who have become addicts are very lonely. Not everybody, but it is a connection. Shame is a very powerful thing. It keeps us in addiction. I wasn't ashamed. In the end, I was very proud that I'd been off for 8 years. I just couldn't get medication to come off again. So I lived in this horrendous cycle of self-medicating, And game machines are a terrible addiction. To lose more than you think you win. The house always wins. It's always wins. Booze and gambling together must be horrendous, Adam. Really bad. I've got a few ex-mates who now hate me from the pub. I'm using that word hate, and I mean it. They try to get me done for a mobile phone. I've been done for a mobile phone offence. Like somebody took photographs of me in the car when I was holding the phone in stationary traffic. And I know where it's been taken from. It's been taken from inside the pub, you can see, and done a witness to him. That's how much they don't like me. So be careful when you get sober. Keep out of the area. Because I hate the fact you're doing, well, what now is better than them. They love to see you in part of this social bloody nonsense area where everyone's the same and we can't break out. And he's not doing as much as him and all this bollocks, So beware when you get sober. Leslie, in rehab, I was told to rephrase shame with guilt. Help me with some of my regrets. Thanks, Leslie. Leslie, 27,000. Blackstone, I think that is very true. It is very 100% true. Yeah. You do express emotions. Anecdotally, alcoholics are people who suppress their emotions. Yeah. Take a long time to admit, don't we, Blackstone? 100%. So the big issues that definitely has affected people who want to stop is the GP's policy of no benzos. Massively affected things. That's when it killed me. Would be King one. You're all enjoying a fresh January so far. Hope you're all good. Yeah, excellent. I think you went new one here. Nice to see you. Jim Scotcher, when you look at it and analyse it, the kinds of conversations and discussions you have in a pub are totally worthless. I totally agree. It's boredom, isn't it? No, boredom. So you're not bored. I don't even like them anymore. These people. So, Adam, it's all dopamine, mate. The drinking drugs, drinking gambling. You're always chasing that bigger score. Constant chasing dopamine. Believe the next big win is around the corner. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I gamble a little bit. I'm too risk averse to do it, but I didn't like the fact I lost a couple of times. Parachute sounds. Did you find cardio exercise help with the recovery? Any exercise? Parachute? Any exercise at all? The best thing is going for a walk. I'm a member of the gym. Go as much as I can. I mean, I haven't been a lot recently because of Christmas and being away and been travelling and that sort of thing. But I'll get back into it, and I like the gym. The hardest part of getting to the gym is getting in there, isn't it? Really. So I'm going to focus a little bit more this year on health, nutrition, and keeping yourself well overall. Once you're sober, because that's very important, and that'll keep you sober. The better you feel, the less likely you are to go back in the booze, in my opinion. I hope you benefit from these lives. If you do, then please support us by dropping super chat in or buy me a coffee links on there as well. Coffee, again, I'll mention again, is good for your liver, protects it against liver cancer. Primary, when I was heavy drinker, I used to go non-drinkers into getting drunk. See, it's crack, isn't it? Absolutely mad. Madness. Thanks for your donations and stuff, Brian. Nice to see you. We do stupid things when we drink. And, we have to grow up and grow out of it if we're going to survive. Most alcohol dependent folk die between the ages of 50 and 60. So, some of us are about that age now. Some of us are younger, some are older. But all we've got is our health, really, If your son's gone, you've got alcohol. We became one. My name was Shanti on here previously. Go to you again. Nice to see you, Shanti. But a very little discussed thing is also how much of a bad influence you yourself become. Yes, you talk yourself into it, don't you? Well, just have one, it'll be all right. So you probably should. I go to the gym every other day and have done for the past 2.5 years. I absolutely love it. Working out doesn't just improve the body, it improves the mind, massively so. Always feel much better. You look younger as well, don't you? I think you do. Adam, I'm trying to stay focused, covering a truck into a mobile home. Man, you'll be brilliant. That's an amazing thing to do. Amazing. The things you can do when you're sober. I mean, I would never have done this. I would never have met my fiancée. I wouldn't have been able to see my daughter. I wouldn't have traveled as much. I did nothing when I was drinking. All I did was try and live. trying to exist on drink. Paul Evans, good evening, Steve. First ever Christmas I haven't drunk any alcohol. Well done, Paul. You'll feel better every year. Leslie, I started painting again. Brilliant. All these good hobbies, you see. I've just done my partner the other day. I started fishing again. I used to like fishing 40 years ago, and I used to play the bass guitar quite well. I used to teach, and all these things go just fall by the wayside when you start a new career. When you start drinking, you can't bother do anything. Blackstone, I meant how you start wanting other people to drink and drink more because you want to. Understand? Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Gypsy, crucial to have projects, things to build when in the crew is so important to curb cravings. You're right there. You're spot on there. Yeah, it's good, Paul, that you've got that over the first Christmas out of the way. Because I realise that social isolation is not good for us, but making new connections can be hard. I agree, but you've sometimes got to push that a little bit. Because I think prior to that, alcohol was our connection. Wasn't it? Leslie, I went fly fishing in summer. That's fantastic. Did you catch anything? It's so good for fly fishing. Isn't it? Well, any fishing is good. I can't be on with these people that sit for 3 days in a bivouac type thing. I'll just go and fish with a spinner, a lure, and try and catch some salmon or something. Idiot. Gypsy, these lives are a form of source connection. Thanks, Gypsy. I hope they're working. Hope if you can support the channel maybe today or in the future, please do. It helps the channel grow, and the more people will get on here, the better. Because we've got a good, solid audience. Brook trout, fantastic. Yeah, nothing better. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. A very a social connection. That's what we need, isn't it? Urban, a few months into sobriety, I ran into a pub acquaintance in town, and she said to me, "Long time no see. You think you're better than us?" That's exactly what somebody said to me. You think you're better than us? I chuckled, thinking she was joking. She wasn't joking. No, they're not joking. Not joking. Somebody said to me, he said, "Oh, you won't want to come in the pub now because you've got." What does he say? Because you've got a new life. You wanker. Yeah, really bad. Urban angst. I'm glad I can relate. I'm glad you've had this. I'm glad you've had the same experience, but you know what I mean. I can relate to that. It's because they hate the fact you've got yourself well. Who else pulls you down because you got healthy? Just idiots. So I went for a coffee with my 3 brothers this afternoon. My brothers, that my addiction look for me. I took them back. Okay, with my 3 brothers, my addiction took from me. That's good, you see. The addiction would take everything from you, won't it? Now you've got them back. But nearly took my daughter away from me. Thankfully, she's back with my grandchild now. Gives you we're stronger together, massively so. The strength of numbers, safety in numbers as well. I really think a good location goes hand in hand with fishing. Of course it does, yeah. So, Urban's jealousy, brother. Smell, yes. Huge. Urban's a woman, so, but I'll take it for me as well. Same for me. I'm just really bad, isn't it? That people get jealous of you, but it makes me smile and I laugh at them. Somebody said, "Why do you come into the pub now?" I said, "Because it reminds me how bad I was, how bad life was before I got sober, and walked away." Sometimes just go in, just walk through, go for a pee, and come out. Sobriety is not a team sport. You are on your own. No team players to rely on. When the craving starts, don't forget all decisions and lie with you. That's a good point. Yeah, it's nice for connection, but really you have to be. You have to be needing this, wanting this for yourself. Yeah. That's a very good point. Okay, well, I'm going to drop this one out because I've got a bit of steak to eat, and So I'll pop in tomorrow if you want me to. If we keep getting some support, then we'll do them more. And if it's helping you, then that's good. If you know anybody else wants to join, if anybody else wants to get involved, keep watching the videos, keep putting the likes in and all that sort of thing. Bit of support, a few more comments, and let's grow this together. Let's have a brilliant 2026. Let this be that a healthy year, I would call it. Yeah, that's what we need. A healthy, because you haven't got healthy, got nothing. You haven't. Absolutely nothing. Doesn't matter if you're a multi-millionaire or you live in a park bench. It has to be your health that's paramount here. Nothing else matters when you got your health, isn't it, really? That's just paramount. Every day you got to say that to yourself. Adam, it's great to walk in the pub and come out. So isn't it good? Yeah. If you got the bottle, it's great to wind people up, wasn't it? Really good. Really good. I love it. So I want to thank you, Steve. Everyone take care. Stay warm and try to be happy. Yeah, keep happy. There's always a way. There's a fantastic comedian in the UK called Scott. It's called Scott Bennett. Try and have a look at him on YouTube. Put some music on. Have something nice to eat. Lie on the bed and just don't think of anything. As Stoic said earlier, boredom's peace, isn't it? Boredom is good. And what's the news about President Trump and his takeover of Venezuela is quite interesting. Thanks for talk to you, Mods Chat and IOKY. Yeah, thanks to the moderators. Always nice to see one here. Lizzie, you look so happy and healthy, Steve. Thanks very much. Looking forward to a good new year with you and all the others, and maybe get a few more people sober. Maybe we'll get a few lives saved. Maybe we'll be even bigger than we are this Christmas. Who knows? There's 16,000 subscribers, so nice to get to 20 by about the end of February, which are on my birthday. That'll be good. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Gypsy, and keep strong, like you say. Keep strong, keep healthy, keep happy. If you want to help the channel out, please do. You know what to do. And we'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Very nice. Thank you, Stephen, Mods and Chat. Stay safe out there. Yeah, I think I'll stay tonight. A lot of snow in the northeast. Thanks, Steve. Nice to see you on, Desi and Adam and Simona. Richard Bruce, probably walking down to Wendy's. Dean, thanks. It's an hour out. Okay. Excellent mod. Yeah, good moderators. Yeah. Remember, I can only ask you make the decision. Good night, all. Yeah, it's very true. Look after yourself. Be happy. We've got more people than we did earlier. Now I'm closing it down. We can't go on forever, can we? We could. You could talk about alcohol forever because there's so many different stories, so many experiences, so many disasters, so many good times as well. Yeah, I had a few good times. When I was king of the pub, I used to love it. Great, isn't it? But it's not really good. I can't stay forever. I've got this steak. They've bought a very expensive steak. I think I've got away with the price though, because I know one of the girls. However, we'll not go into that. Now, I'll shut off and have a bite to eat. We'll see you soon. Any ideas you got? Any questions you have, keep them for tomorrow and stick them in. Or just send me your comments when you want me to cover any particular subject. Because these are just general discussions. If you want anything particularly to be covered, then I can. It's with 10-minute slots or something. We'll get better at this. At the moment, I'm winging it on. I really need to put some structure in it and see how things go. Okay, well, see you later. And thanks for being here. And thanks for, all your chat, all your donations, all your help over the last few months. I'll catch you there. And I should say good night. If I can spell it. I still don't know how to use this properly. See you later. Take it easy.